Greetings everyone, how are you today? I am very happy to record episode 3 of Berke Creations Podcast. Today I'm gonna talk about some mohair magic, a very special hat and my Christmas cardigan. So stay tuned because I need help with my Christmas cardigan. So my name is Sophie and I live in Transylvania. And I am warmly welcoming everybody who checked out this new podcast, and especially now that a few days ago Maria of Ninja Chickens, thank you Maria, you're the greatest friend. Maria of Ninja Chickens gave me a shout out, and many of you are new here because of her. And yes, I'm happy that such adventurous knitters and podcast watching people are out there. So thank you and welcome, and please keep on commenting. I love to read everybody's comments. Where are you from? What are you up to? So yes, before I delve into my knitting, I was thinking that what do you think, guys? Maybe I can teach you some Hungarian, because I was all week battling with the devil of technology, and I was thinking about this expression because probably this is not much present in the English language and other languages. In Hungarian we say technológia ördöge. And so I found this expression fun, and I was thinking, okay, how could I say this to you? And yes, I was battling with the technological devil, and I finally won, so I can podcast much longer and more relaxed. So let me know if you want to learn every episode a little bit of Hungarian with me. Thing, because of this lovely gesture of Maria, I was thinking maybe I should pay it forward, and I'd like to mention 2 podcasts here. The first one is Nikki of Knitting with Cat Hair podcast. She is in Canada and she has 5 cats, and she started in February, and I watched her first and last video and I saw how much she evolved. So yes, check her out, Knitting with Cat Hair. And then the second one is not a knitting podcast, but she's a knitter, and I was so inspired by her short videos. It's about Ellen Lööf, creative coach and slow life enthusiast living in Sweden, and she has these great tips about how to increase your creativity, how to express yourself, or get over blockages in your creative journey. And my gosh, the nature and how she presents it and how she's filming it, it's just like the atmosphere is like sucks you in. And this is something that I am also looking forward to create in the future. So please check her out, I think it's really worth it. Okay, oh, do you want to see something cute? Let's try out the focus on this camera. Oh, there you go. It took a little bit, but oh. It's a miniature cat with a yarn ball, and I found it in a thrift store. So it's gonna stay here with us. So my finished object, I talk about this now for the 3rd time, and I have notes because I need to organize my thoughts and be consistent about what I need to mention about my finished objects. So this is the Radvent cardigan from Ambah Brien, and it's a cardi with batwings or batwing sleeves, which is very fun because I remember my mom wearing these in the 80s, and now I guess they have a comeback. Anyway, I don't care if they have a comeback or not, but I enjoy so much wearing it, and it's very comfortable. The only downside of the batwings nowadays is that all my jackets are much more fitted on the upper arm, and this is not something practical to wear under those jackets. So, but the yarn is all commercial yarn, fingering weight yarn held together with mohair, and I showed them to you in a previous episode. So I don't think I'm gonna talk about it more now. The only smuffle, I guess, that I can show to you, and it's crazy that nobody noticed it before, and I even didn't notice it. But look on the sleeve here. This section is in Malabrigo lace, held together with two different mohair, and I didn't think that I should held together with another lace yarn, the mohair, 2 times perhaps, to make up to the gauge of fingering held together with mohair. So in this part near to the cuffs, my gauge is actually much smaller than what was recommended, and the next part is kind of in between, and here is the right gauge. So it kind of created this this loose effect around here, but I think I can get away with it. I consider this project a success, and I enjoy it, and I like the colors, this pastel fluffiness of it. And yeah, I could see that my mom and my sister, they tried it on, and they didn't say that they wanted, but I could see their eyes that they would want something like this. I'm trying to persuade my sister to knit too, and probably she would knit her own mohair sweater under my guidance. So I give them plenty of projects and give presents, knitted presents, so I'm gonna keep this one for sure. Okay, then about the construction, because I like this kind of construction. As I mentioned before, you start with the sleeves, and then you pick up for the sides, like for toe up socks, and you knit the front and in the back and forth. And then at one point you stop for the front and continue with the back. Let me take it off and I can show you better. So then on the back you can join together the 2 halves, and I use the 3 needle bind off, and I don't think it's so successful because it kind of tight, and it's visible. So yes, that is my 3 needle bind off. Now I think actually wish that I would have used a Kitchener stitch, but I'm still not so much friend with Kitchener stitch. So here, just on the back, just to the last bit, I run out of this lavender mohair, and so I just used grey with the main fingering yarn. But oh yes, the other interesting thing, that the other thing that I love actually, it's when picking up for the hem. So yes, you pick up for the hem to knit, and I remember I never liked before picking up for the hem. Not before this project, but earlier in my knitting journey. It always was confusing, which leg should I pick up, sometimes they didn't look even, it was a mess. And then earlier this year, or maybe it was already last year, I test knitted one project for Jennifer Beal, and in her project she mentioned, she mentioned the Elizabeth Zimmermann's way of picking up. I mean, maybe I am not 100% correct, but I know that she wrote about the best way of picking up, and this made everything so much clearer for me. So the way I am picking up now, after Elizabeth Zimmermann's method, is that I don't care about the edge stitches, the stitches right on the edge, but I just look on the next vertical row of knit stitches, and as they are all the V's under each other, I just go into the middle of the V, and that's how I pick up my stitches. So I go from the right side into the middle of the V, and then I scoop out my yarn from the wrong side and I scoop it up on the right side. So that's how I put them on the needle. And I think this way is, maybe everybody does this, and I was the only one who learned this late, but I think it just looks so even and beautiful. And also in the inside, it looks very neat and tidy, so I'm very happy for that. Other stuff I want to mention, I did not modify much. I only modified the ribbing because it was a twisted rib, and I just did a normal ribbing all the way. And also on the cuffs, probably I did like 10 rows less. And my buttons, I think I choose them right. I just found exactly 3 of them in my stash. And then lastly but not least, I want to mention something incredible, because I think Ambah is an incredible designer but also incredible person. And I don't want to say nothing bad about the designers who assure you about their eternal gratitude for your test knit, but at one point Ambah sent out for all of her test knitters for one of earlier projects, like maybe 20-30 people, sent out a letter with a handwritten postcard and some tags with her logo. And this is one of them. I put it on, and a pin, and I think it's just so amazing that she took the time to individually pack and write and send for everybody and keep track of their address. So this is like really lovely, great gesture. So thank you, Ambah, and thank you for the lovely pattern. Next finished object I consider also a very successful one, and it's this hat. And this hat is the Loch-Side tree hat by Kat of Heather and Hops podcast, and it's just beautiful. Maybe I can wear it. So in an earlier episode I had a swatch for it, but my contrast color was a green yarn, and I switched it up for a grey because of various reasons, but I'm very happy about this decision. Everybody said, some of them in a group, in a Discord group, said that this grey would look like snowy trees, and indeed. And also in my mind, the the blue, it just reminds me of the mountains around here. Yeah, I live in a small town in Transylvania, and we are on almost 800 meters altitude, and we have all these gorgeous hills and mountains around us. So yeah, this hat feels totally like home. And the yarn. Yeah, I should learn to always start with the yarn. My yarn is, the main color is Malabrigo Rustita. Malabrigo Rustita. Yes. In the colorway Nome Olvides. And I must say, I'm so sorry that this yarn is discontinued. This is my favorite, all-time favorite color. Like this dark blue with all these variations. It's just a delight for my eyes to look at it. And the other yarn is this one. It's called Cardigan by Istex, and it's Portuguese merino, sourced in merino, and dyed in Iceland by the company Istex. So I could say it's a Icelandic or Portuguese yarn. Icelandic because the company is Icelandic. And here is the name tag. Okay, so yes, I'm sure these two yarns will peel a lot, because I already had a baby knit in this scum yarn and it peels like crazy. But I guess this is how it is with merino. Yeah, this is merino, right? So both of them are merinos actually. Okay, then the release day for this hat, because it was a test knit, I think it's today. I mean, like, by the time I upload this video, I'm sure it's gonna be available on Ravelry. Oh yes, then let's speak about the construction. And I started with a tubular cast on, and since I learned the tubular cast on, this is my only to-go option. And then knitted 2 centimeters longer brim, it's pretty long brim, to fold it up. And then the technique for this trees, I'm not gonna give it away too much, but it involves some leatherback jacquard technique in the inside. It looks like this. So I think this leatherback jacquard way of fixing your floats, it's really practical, it's really great, and I think this pattern is great introduction for you to learn that. I learned that before, but it's just, it looks a little bit and reads a little bit perhaps complicated, but it's very easy. And look how it created all these floats, a double layer inside. So this hat is pretty warm. It's a little bit short for my head, but I think this is my mistake because of my row gauge, and also maybe I could have a larger size cast on. I knitted a medium size, but it's still my favorite at this moment. So yes, this is about the hat. And the last project is a work in progress. It's my Christmas cardigan. It's called Skumring or Nightfall cardigan by Skeindeer knits. I cast this on my birthday, and I want to finish it by the middle of December. And look, it has a body. I talked about this approximately 1 week ago in my earlier Chit and Knit video, and in 1 week I managed to do the whole body. Except on the hem, because that's still on my needles, but that's what I am having a problem with. But I will explain that. Just let me show you my yarns. So these are my yarns. I'm using these 6 different shades of blue, and this is Lithuanian yarn, and the name is Teksrena. So Teksrena, 100% pure wool yarn, 350 meters per 100 gram, and it's a 2-ply fingering weight wool. I ordered this on Etsy, and I found a shop which has like 80 different colors of this yarn. So let me show it to you again. As you can see, this card is gonna be sticked. So I have this pattern in the front to see better where I'm gonna stick. And actually I will do this week another video where I will just stick everything, this one and one another project. And yeah, that's what I'm planning now. And then after the short rows on the back, I am not so happy that I did not try to implement the lice pattern in these dots in the lighter color to this short row section, because my color work is pretty tight. So I always use larger needles. For this project in particular, I use 3.5 millimeter needles for the color work, and then when I knit without contrast color, I used 3 millimeter needles, and I still feel that this difference in the texture and of course in the thickness, but also I don't know, maybe it flares out a little bit. But after blocking we will see how it goes. So yes, on the body it has the typical Norwegian lice patterning, which is like every 4th row you do introduce the contrast color. So it was not so much a pain in the ass, because I enjoyed knitting this, obviously, that's why it went so fast. But I was actually changing needles every 4th row. So for the color work section I went up half needle size, and between I use my 3 millimeter needle. And then on the bottom I have this snowy trees again. maybe there you can see I have a theme going on. And for the hem, I used again 3mm needles, the smaller needles, and I am stuck because I want to do a folded hem. I think this needs, because I really like the fabric of the colorwork section, and I don't like that when I have the yarn single, or the yarn just the main color. It's so much different, so much big difference in the fabric. You can even see through of this. So I was thinking I can do a folded hem, and then everything it's the same thickness, and that would be great. I don't want to do a very large, thick, very large hem, but so in the middle you can see I already put into a place a pearl ridge, and that was my plan, to fold over this pearl ridge. And when I do that, it's not that great, because it has, I will get better on this, I promise, because it has just way too much stretch on it, and I can already see this will flare out. I mean, exactly the edge of the hem will totally flare out, because this happened with me in another project. So I'm thinking to rip back, and that's why I need your advice. What do you think? Should I cast off and pick it up again, and knit the wrong side of the hem, and maybe just knit it in a stockinette, not in a ribbing? Would that be a good solution, or maybe you have another solution? So just let me know if you have time and patience to explain it to me. So yes, up until then I'm sadly on hold with this project, but I can't wait to cut it up. Oh, and please, I apologize for everybody who watched my previous chat and knit video, because when I uploaded it on YouTube, I put a filter on it, and I did not check how all the range of the colors, if they are good, and if this filter works for it. And for the blue shades, it was horrible how much it was blown out. It even hurt my eyes, so I'm sorry about that, Smafu. I'm sorry about that anyway, even if I'm laughing because I have a good mood, and I just love podcasting. This is so much fun, and you guys make it so much fun for me and all this community. So this was all my knitting, and the last thing I want to share with you, it's a cross stitch. I found something amazing in a local charity shop, and it was like under $1. And it's this one. Cherish your dreams. And yeah, I am so happy to start making this, and probably have it displayed over here. But yeah, and it's by Joan Elliott. Maybe I'm saying right that this is the name of the creator of this pattern, and it's lovely with dream catchers and all these feathers, and it looks a little bit witchy with the phases of the moon. And I got this idea that for me, for my taste, it would look even best if I dye this fabric that comes with it in dark blue, Of course, I guess it will be much more difficult to work with it, but it would be great. Or maybe can I order dark blue fabric directly from other sources for this? And it has all the lovely yarn with it. I don't have much experience with cross stitching. I did some of it in my childhood, but on a larger scale. And my grandma was like a cross stitching expert. She would make these ropes and all kind of items for the church. She lived next to the church, so yes, but it's something new that I would like to explore very much so. So then yes, I think this is all for today, and thank you so much for watching. Please connect with me, subscribe, hit like. It helps me so much to grow on YouTube, and also it makes all this podcasting even much more fun. And yeah, just let's have another glimpse of this cat. There you go. What a cutie thing to have. So yeah, I guess when you start knitting and you delve into all the fiber stuff, the fiber starts to find you in different ways. So as I said, thank you for watching, and stay happy, stay warm, and get some fluffy mohair into these gloomy days. Bye!